Hey, meteorologist Brendan Minchef here in Sacramento, and we have had quite the month of October so far. It started off in the 70s. It was a little below normal for the time of year, but then you see 2 days in the red there. Last Monday and last Tuesday, we were near 90 degrees. In fact, we hit 90 degrees in Sacramento last Tuesday. But then fast forward a week, look at that temperature there, 56 degrees this most recent Tuesday on October 14th. That's the coldest day in Sacramento since February 12th. So it has been a while since we've seen temperatures that cool. And that's in large part, obviously, thanks to the storm that we just had come into California. Take a look at some of these snow totals across the Sierra. This is just a few locations here. Bear Valley at 21 inches, Castle Peak at 9 inches. The UC Berkeley Central Sierra Snow Lab, 7.3 inches of snow there. Soda Springs at 7 inches, Blue Canyon at 2 inches. We had chain controls across every major Trans-Sierra highway as we went through Tuesday. Looking at the storm total rainfall in the valley, so that was snow. Now we're talking about rain in the valley. Vacaville, 1.6 inches of rain. Sacramento, 1.58 inches of rain. Not that far behind, over 1.5 inches there. Stockton, almost at 1.5 inches. Modesto, over 1 inch of rain. Same story in Davis and Angels Camp. Rancho Cordova at 0.9 inches. Marysville, close to 0.9 inches as well. Roseville picked up 3/4, and Folsom picked up over 1/2 inch of rain. Now, this is a very good storm for us for the month of October. As we look at the precip tracker, total so far this month, 1.86 inches of rain in Sacramento. The average to date is just 0.27 inches. So our departure from normals at plus 1.59 inches. Again, this is a lot of numbers, but this just goes to show you we are off to a really good start on the water year here in Northern California. And as a reminder, that water year started on October 1st. That's why this month and this season match, because we've only had 1 month so far. Let's look at the statewide numbers here, because for the entire state, it's been a pretty decent start, especially true for Northern California, but also Southern California has picked up some rain. You see about 1.78 inches there in Sacramento, 1 inch out there in San Francisco, 1.17 in Modesto, but then down south about 0.8 inches in LA, over 1 inch in Santa Barbara. So that departure from normal from October 1st through October 14th, again, that is the first 14 days of the water year. You can see Sacramento's above 1.5 inches. San Francisco's at plus about 3/4 there of 1 inch of rain, plus 165 in Stockton. Everywhere in blue means we're doing better than normal, and only a couple places on this map, that would be Palm Springs and Needles, is actually below normal in terms of precip so far. So this is good. This will bring a temporary pause to fire season, but it's not enough to bring it to a total end. We'll need some more rain in the not too distant future before we can wrap up fire season. So let's take a look at what we can expect as we head through Thursday afternoon. It's going to stay cooler than normal. We've got 50s and 60s across the Central Sierra, some more 50s and 60s across the Southern Sierra. And as we look into the valley, temperatures still are not that warm. We're only talking upper 60s into the low to mid 70s for most locations. Similar story here as you look at the Central Coast there, temperatures in the 60s to about 70 degrees. San Francisco Bay Area, plenty of 60s and some low 70s across the map there, even across far Northern California. We are just not in a warm pattern. We are going to stay cooler than normal as we head through the rest of this work week. We've got more 70s across the far northern part of the state and low 70s across the capital region. We, in fact, will stay below normal as we head through this upcoming weekend across Northern California. As we look at the forecast here, temperatures are going to stay in the 70s, not just for the next 3 days, but for the next 10 days.